First of all, let's go over all the main issues with this book. It's got some black speckling at the top here. It has a ripped page. It has rust at the staple, especially the top staple. The spine is pretty chewed up. It's not the worst I've seen, but we've got rust migration back here. We have water damage at the top and the bottom. We've got a ripped back page here and fraying at the top of the back page as well. Discoloration on this back page. The staple hole is actually chewed through on this end because of rust. And here's our staples. It looks like, wow, 4 staples in this. Not sure you can see that, but yeah, we've got extra staples at both the top and the bottom, and both of the top staples are rusted. So that's very weird. Okay, let's take this apart then. That's what the rusted staples look like. Pretty busted up looking. All right, we'll set this aside for now. All right, to make this a gellan concoction, I need 0.4 grams of calcium acetate, 20 grams of gellan gum, which is a lot, and this stuff is really expensive. So I won't be doing a whole lot of these. And 40 grams of stinky betaine. I don't know why this stuff stinks so bad. I think it's got crushed shellfish in it or something like that, or crushed sea something. It's gross. Professor Peter says he can't really smell it that bad, but I can definitely smell mine. Alright, and that's going all into this bowl here. Okay, now I'm going to add 250 milliliters of calcium hydroxide, concentrated, I guess, or lime water. And then I want to add 750 milliliters of just regular tap water. Well, filtered water. Okay, so I'm supposed to stir the mix up. And I got a little bits of clumpy bits here, so hopefully that's not too bad. I'm trying to break them up and let them dissolve, so I'll stir it up a little bit longer till it's nice and not lumpy. Okay, I'm supposed to throw this in the microwave until it boils. Oh man, it's pretty heavy. Stirring it a little bit before it gets to that point, I think. So I'm not really sure how many minutes to put it in, so I'm gonna do like, I don't know, I guess I'll start at 2 minutes and then keep an eye out, keep on doing that over and over again. It took about 14 minutes for it to come to a boil. Okay, so one more look at this cover before I wet it down. I did flatten it overnight in a cold press. So we got all this water standing here along the spine, and the discoloration at the top here, the water stain up here, and we got all this black, so we don't want to see any speckling down here. We already see speckling at the very top. and we want to make sure we don't see much speckling or any speckling further down. If we flip it over real fast, we see all this staining through the middle and just the general discoloration throughout the whole entire inner cover. So hopefully this will get whiter, cleaner, and I'm going to go ahead and spritz it down with a water and calcium hydroxide solution. Just respray this down. And we'll just let that sit for, I guess, 30 minutes and go from there. Okay, this absolutely does look cleaner. A lot of the staining is gone. The stain up here is gone. A lot of the staining around here is gone. I did spritz it down one more time about 5 minutes ago, so that's why it's still wet looking. But I'm gonna go ahead and move this to the photo tray and rinse it off real fast with a real quick bath, and then lay it out and let it air dry. It's hard to see on the surface, but the slab does look pretty dirty. Okay, just pour this on real quick, and all right, that's good enough. We're gonna take it out. Okay, as you can see, the backside is much cleaner. I'm gonna go ahead and apply tear seals while I still can, while this is wet. So the experiment with the gellan gum was a resounding success, in my opinion. It cleaned up most of the stain that was on the front cover here, quite a bit of the stain on the back cover, and the inner part of the cover is way cleaner. There's still a little bit, faint water staining that you can see around here and on the bottom. I mean, it mostly came out. I really don't need to do anything more with this cover wrap, because all I wanted to do was to see if the stains would come out and if it would come out with minimal color loss, and that's exactly what I saw. I do still see just a little bit of color loss right around this gray area, and maybe a little bit right above the Sorcerer Supreme's hand here. Just maybe a tiny little bit more speckling here where the color had already lifted from the previous water damage, but very minimal color loss. Nothing like you'd expect when you're doing just a normal aqueous bath with cold press drying and all that kind of thing. The fact that I'm seeing this little color loss with a book that had already experienced water damage is absolutely amazing. Because this is such a success, I don't think I'm going to go ahead and jump to the other practice book. I think I'm going to instead get to the project I wanted to get to in the first place. And that project is that of a friend of the channel and a great comic book artist by the name of Lawson Wallace. I had actually featured some of Lawson's work on this channel previously, so I'll link that here. But he sent a couple of very unusual items that he wanted to get worked on, and that included this really interesting Charlton Bullseye, oversized comic magazine, and it's really beautiful. I mean, I've seen a couple of these on eBay, not this particular issue. This is issue number 1. I've seen a few others, and they're really, really unique. And what he wanted it done to this book was he wanted it deacidified and lightened a little bit. But honestly, I don't think it needs deacidification because it doesn't exhibit heavy acidification, which is lots of internal tanning. There's a little tanning to the front of the cover, along the edges here, and along the back cover. And instead of putting it through an aqueous solution, I think I'm just going to humidify it a little bit and place it under blue light a little bit. These inks don't seem very steadfast. I can see some lightening in the blacks here as is. So that might have come out just from rubbing somehow. So I don't want to expose this to water. Also, there's a sticker here. This is a sticker, and I don't think that's going to fare well in any sort of bath, or even using the gellan slab method. I don't think that's going to be good for this. But beautiful cover by Milgram from '75. So yeah, like I said, I think I'm going to just humidify this a little bit in the humidification tank, and then just put it under blue light. The other item that he sent to me would probably fare better, although it is also incredibly delicate, and it's this really amazing panorama of the New York World's Fair from 1939. It's original, and it's beautiful. And he wanted this also deacidified, and I don't think he necessarily wanted it lightened. I don't think I'd want to lighten it anyways. And he also wanted it flattened. And there's rips along the middle here. So I'm going to fix that up with a little bit of Tengujo Japanese paper. But the problem with this is that it is as thin as tissue paper. It's extremely thin. And I don't know how the inks on this are going to react even to the slab. So this is going to be an interesting project. I hope it works out. I actually did buy a mold that will be wide enough to create a gellan gum slab for this. So I hope there are just no issues, but I guess we'll see. Okay, the cover is pretty much done. I'm going to go ahead and do all these wraps here. I'm going to clean them up. I'm going to remove this rust as well as I can, and patch up some of the pages, and get rid of some of the stains here, and whatever it takes to clean this book back up. And I mean, it was just a practice book, but you know, might as well do it right, you know? So, all right, stay tuned. So I'm using conventional means for the inner wraps, and as you can see, they're pretty dirty. I'm not doing the gellan gum slab for this. I'm just doing regular aqueous baths. I think I'm not too worried about losing color with those. All right. What I love about these Silver Age books is that there's not 64 pages, so should be able to work through this pretty quickly. Well, it's not pretty, but it's clean, more or less. Okay, this is out of the press now, and I don't think it's going to look great, you know, just because of the fact that it's so beat, but maybe I'll throw it into a giveaway or something like that. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. All right. So it definitely looks better than it did when, you know, it was still all stained up and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, can't see the stain that much up here anymore. I mean, there's just a little bit of it, just traces of it, but it's not like it was, for sure. But yeah, it cleaned up pretty good. You can't really see the rust anymore. I cut out all the rust that was still on the page. So Again, it's being held together on the top staple with tear seals, which, you know, it does the job. There's a centerfold. So, okay, now nothing too exciting with this book in my opinion. Just, again, this was just a practice book, and I got the method down pretty well. And stay tuned to see how Lawston's items came out. I actually have already finished them, and so I'll feature those in the next video. And thanks so much for watching. All right, bye now.